Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. It's Kepherd Y2K here, and in this video we're going to discuss all the additions to the Fortnite map and the game as a whole within Fortnite Chapter 2 and compare them to similar additions we saw within Fortnite Chapter 1 and see which chapter did it better. The latest Fortnite update saw Epic add the inflatable bull to the game. This item goes in your inventory, and when you use it you will become an inflatable cow. It's very much a mobility item, and it is very similar to the baller that we saw back in Fortnite Chapter 1, as it negates all fall damage while you are within it. We also saw Fortnite return the alien abductors back into the game, and one slight tweak we have seen is that they now, instead of taking 30 seconds, they now take no more than 10 seconds. And with the addition of these items to the game within the latest Fortnite update, and the similarities both editions have had to similar editions we have seen in the past, and as we've discussed the similarities between Fortnite Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 many times here on the channel, what we're going to do in this video is discuss some of the similar additions we have seen within Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 and decide which time did Epic Games do it better. As always, don't forget to be subscribed to the channel and be sure to be using code Kepherd in the Fortnite item shop and Epic Games Store in order to support the channel, as the code does expire every 2 weeks. One of the most game-changing mechanics Fortnite has brought within Fortnite Season 7 is the introduction of the alien abductors. As we all know, the abductors send you aboard the alien mothership and send you into a mini-game where you can collect gold orbs while also gathering time within the mothership to where you could potentially leave the mothership with an all-gold loadout. This is one of the better additions we have seen within the game this season and within the chapter, but also has very similar properties to an addition we had seen within Fortnite Chapter 1. Within Fortnite Chapter 1, we had seen within Fortnite Season 9, Fortnite add hot drops to the game. We have discussed this addition a few times here on the channel, and for those of you who had not played while these were around, at the start of every Fortnite game, 1 to up to 3 locations on the Fortnite map would be colored in gold text. And when you landed at those locations, loot carriers would be available at these POIs. And when you shot them down, they could contain anywhere from blue to gold loot, very similar to the minigame that we see within Fortnite Season 7. With the loot carriers in the hot drops, you are guaranteed to get anywhere from blue to gold loot, whereas within the minigame, the amount of loot you're able to leave the mothership with is all dependent on how well you do in the minigame and how many gold orbs you're able to collect before time runs out. While although in Season 9 when the loot drops were in the game, it was very fun to land at these locations that were marked as hot drops, one issue that this had was that many players, especially if the location was already a hot drop, such as Pleasant Park or Fatal Fields, many of the lobby would land at these locations, and as there could be anywhere from 1 to 3 locations, if it was only one location, many players would land there at the start of the game, leaving many players to die within the early portions of the game. Comparing this to the alien abductors, as this is a mini game where players cannot be eliminated, one of the positives of the alien abductors is they're actually causing lobbies to stay alive a lot longer. Combining that with the fact that you could use the alien abductors as a form of mobility, between the two similar additions, it seems like the alien abductors have had a better and overall much more positive impact to the game as a whole. The next addition that we will look at is one that has been very controversial within the Fortnite community, and that is skill-based matchmaking. For those who did play in Chapter 1, you will remember that for the large majority of the chapter, skill-based matchmaking was not a thing within Fortnite. Skill-based matchmaking was added at the tail end of the chapter within Fortnite Season X, about halfway through the end of the season and also towards the end of the chapter. And as many of us could remember, within Fortnite Chapter 2, skill-based matchmaking has very much seen its ups and downs, as Epic has admitted to us in the past that they had been tweaking with skill-based matchmaking throughout portions in the chapter, which can be understandable as it was a fairly new addition to the game. But recent research from Reddit user 512DAC actually revealed that skill-based matchmaking, at least as of now in Fortnite Season 7, is actually not very prevalent at all. Data taken based off 2,000 games of Fortnite from Fortnite Season 5 to Season 7 of Chapter 2 actually revealed to us that by and large, if you are an average player of the game and somebody who plays fairly regularly, skill-based matchmaking actually doesn't have that much of an effect within your games. And skill-based matchmaking has the heaviest effect on players who are new players or players who play on the Nintendo Switch. Lobbies featuring these players are lobbies with the lowest MMR and will likely have the largest amount of AI bots within their games. And this is where skill-based matchmaking is very much most present. And for players who play on average pretty regularly, wins and losses actually do not have that much of an effect on your matchmaking ranking. And skill-based matchmaking's job mostly is to split lobbies evenly between console and PC players. And the only time a player will be able to drastically change their matchmaking rating is if they take a long break from the game, and this is when Fortnite will adjust your matchmaking rating, and you come back, you will notice you were in very low ranked lobbies. Although Epic had been tweaking with skill-based matchmaking throughout the entire chapter, if you are someone who plays the game fairly regularly, you noticing yourself getting into lobbies with very much higher skill players will most likely have to do with just the time that you are queuing up for a game, and whether you're getting to lobbies with players who are utilizing better equipment than you are, such as if you are a console player, getting into lobbies with many PC players. This could just possibly just be bad luck of the draw. Although skill-based matchmaking is not very prevalent nowadays, it still does not beat the fact that Fortnite Chapter 1 had a guarantee of no skill-based matchmaking throughout the entirety of the chapter. The next metric we'll look at is some of the more controversial items we have seen within each chapter. We narrowed this down to items such as the mech, the infinity blade, explosive weapons, SMGs, and the heavy sniper. In Chapter 2, we narrowed this down to the mythic items and the exotic items. And by and large, this really depends on what kind of player you are, as Chapter 1 heavily featured much more controversial items within the game. SMGs were constantly being nerfed, while you also had weapons such as explosives also being nerfed, such as C4, and rocket launchers were also a very big controversial during the first chapter. And we've seen within Fortnite Chapter 2, many of these items had already been nerfed within the last chapter. Some of the more controversial items remains items such as the mythic items. The very big difference we can see, ever since the start of Fortnite Chapter 2, Epic has very much cut down the amount of controversial items that we have seen within the game, and they have made much more of a conscious effort to balance items within Fortnite Chapter 2. While this makes the game very much balanced as a whole, a very big argument can be made that these controversial items bring a certain type of chaos to the game that is actually very enjoyable to play. And I'm still waiting on the day that Fortnite finally brings the best item they've ever added to the game in the guided missile, which was by far one of my favorite items to ever be added to the game, to bring it back. Epic, if you are watching this, please do it for me. And just like the weapons have been fairly more balanced within Fortnite Chapter 2, we could also say the same for the amount of mobility we have seen within the chapter, as we have seen items such as choppers, cars, and the inflatable, along with the UFOs added to the game. The UFO being the most powerful of the items, but we did have something similar to that within Chapter 1 in the planes. And although you could debate on which of those items are more powerful, we also saw items such as the quad crashers, drift boards, ATKs, and ballers, as well as shopping carts in Chapter 1. Seeing a lot more variety of mobility items, but overall we could say Chapter 2's items are much more balanced. As those of you who were playing at the time could remember how controversial items such as the ballers were, especially in competitive Fortnite. And the last two metrics we will look at is two things that we have talked about a lot on the channel. The first being the Fortnite storyline within Fortnite Chapter 1 and Fortnite Chapter 2. As a channel that does a lot of coverage on the map changes that are going on across the map and the Fortnite storyline, I can honestly say that the Fortnite storyline is just as exciting within Fortnite Chapter 2 as it was in Fortnite Chapter 1. Fortnite Chapter 1 storyline was ever evolving, as the story was primarily told through weekly challenges and also through weekly loading screens that were revealed each week. Map changes would give us hints as to what was occurring on the Fortnite storyline, and this is primarily how the story was told. And as that has continued within Fortnite Chapter 2, we have seen Fortnite greatly expand the detail that they have gone within the Fortnite storyline, learning a lot about the organizations that we had not known much about within Chapter 1, such as the background of Agent Jones and the Imagined Order, as well as the Seven. This is largely a part of Fortnite giving us more cinematic cutscene style events and putting a greater effort into going more in depth on everything about the storyline, including things such as the Fortnite Batman comic series. And we look at the maps of Fortnite Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, the big difference we can see is within Fortnite Chapter 1, we saw Fortnite change the map by adding a lot of different biomes around the map. In Fortnite Chapter 1, we had seen desert biomes, forest biomes, swamp biomes, a volcano biome, snow biomes, and all these different biomes on the map created a very large level of variation throughout the Fortnite map. And we have seen a lot less of that within Fortnite Chapter 2. But that is not to say that we have not seen unique locations within Fortnite Chapter 2, as certain locations such as the grotto, the shark, and the agency are locations that could be argued to be some of the greatest locations we have seen within Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. And although both chapters have been very different, but also sharing very similarities, with not only changes and additions, but also the storyline, which also plays into the whole Fortnite loop, as we've seen that Fortnite Chapter 1, through its additions, showed itself to be a much more chaos and addition-filled season, where we saw very controversial weapons and extreme map changes. If you are a player who likes more of a balanced game, you would see more of this within Fortnite Chapter 2. But it's important to note that some of the more chaos-filled seasons we'd seen in Fortnite Chapter 2 are seasons that were very well received by the rest of the community. The season that we first saw mythic items, which was Fortnite Season 2, is largely seen as one of the most popular seasons and the most well-received seasons within the chapter, and the same could be said about Seasons 4 and Seasons 3, where we saw items such as Kit's Shockwave Launcher and a flooded Fortnite map, and in Season 4 where we got a whole Marvel-themed season with mythic Marvel items, and of course the loot vaults that we all knew and loved. So while although Fortnite Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 have their differences, your preference very much comes down to what kind of game you want to be playing. But it cannot be argued that when Fortnite adds that touch of chaos and variety, it could actually be very good for the game as a whole. So that is our comparison. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about the differences between Fortnite Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, and some of the favorite additions you have seen, be it ones that were on our list or something that we missed were your favorites to see in the game. As always, I'm Kepherd Y2K. I thank you guys all for watching. As always, don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to join the squad, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.